Hi, fifth graders. We are back to read two more chapters out of Save Me a Seat, and we are nearing the end of the story. All right, so we left off, and the students were getting ready to present their self-reflection projects, okay? And Joe's, who we still don't know what it was, has been stolen. All right, chapter 35, Ravi. Robbie, Mrs. Beam says as I drop my card into the basket. My heart is pounding. Have I done something wrong? Amma had offered to write my explanation on the card in her neat handwriting, but I had insisted on doing it myself. Can Mrs. Beam not read what I've written? After talking with Karipa last night, I had been so sure that this assignment would be a proud moment for me, or for not just me, but for my whole family. Now all my other failures come flooding back in a giant wave. My accent, my math, my English, my manners. It's nice to see you, says Mrs. Bean. We missed you yesterday. You did? I ask. Don't sound so surprised, she laughs. I wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed the cookies your mother made. There's a nice spice in them and I'm not familiar with it. Do you know what it is? I'm sorry, I say softly, bending my head down again. Cumin. Don't apologize, she says. The cookies were delicious. It was all I could do to keep myself from eating the entire box. I was wondering, do you think your mother would be willing to share the recipe with me? What were they called again? Non-katais, I say slowly. Non katais, she says. Her pronunciation is almost perfect. I think about what Miss Frost has told me about stepping on toes and about how assumptions are often wrong. Mrs. Bean, I say softly, my voice quivering a little, my name, it's not Ravi. It's pronounced Ravi. She looks at me and smiles. I never noticed before, but her eyes are the color of pistachios. I'm glad you told me, Ravi. Was that better? She asks. I nod my head and smile back at her. It means the sun, I say. As I walk back to my seat, my heart feels lighter. It seems that things are finally looking up for me in America. But my gratitude is interrupted when I see Bigfoot sitting at his desk, staring into the empty bowl in front of him. He looks so sad, and I'm not selfish enough that I have forgotten about the insulting cartoon or what I saw Dylan Sanreen take from the little glass dish on Bigfoot's desk. This is my chance to redeem myself for the unkind way that I have treated Ramaswamy at Vidya Mandir and for all the toes I've already stepped on here at Albert Einstein Elementary School. As well, my chance to set things right. I reach into my desk and feel around with my fingers until I find what I'm looking for, and then I put it in my pencil box for safekeeping until the moment is right. Chapter 36, Joe. We're going to play a little guessing game, Mrs. Beam explains. The goal is to match up the objects sitting on the desks with the sentences in the baskets. Great. I've only been at school for 15 minutes and my day is already in the toilet. I look at the empty dish. No one is going to be able to match it with the sentence I wrote. Not in a million years. Ravi is busy unwrapping his package. I'm curious to see what's inside, so I lean to my left so I can watch him. The brown paper is held on with about a million pieces of Scotch tape. When he finally gets it off, there's another layer of newspaper underneath it, and under that, a layer of tinfoil and a lot more Scotch tape. Before we start, Mrs. Beam tells us, I'd like you all to quietly make your way around the room, familiarizing yourself with the objects on each of the desks. I'll give you a few minutes to do that, and then we'll begin our game. Miss Frost always says the best place to start is at the beginning. So I go over to the first desk in the first row. Amy Yamaguchi brought a teddy bear, or at least I think that's what it is. It's a little hard to tell because it's gray and doesn't have any stuffing left in it. Not only that, the face is completely worn off. Whatever it is, it's ancient and probably doesn't smell too good up close. Some of the other girls brought in stuffed animals too, or girly junk like charm bracelets and flavored chapsticks. A lot of the boys picked video games or sports stuff, including Tim O'Toole, whose personal reflection object is his own front tooth. Everybody knows the story. He knocked out his tooth last winter, sliding into a goalpost during a hockey game. Even though there was blood gushing out of his mouth, he still managed to score the winning goal, which is how his picture ended up on the front page of the Hamilton Herald, with a caption under it that says, "Plucky local kid just won't quit." I'm about to start walking down the next row of desks when I hear Lucy Mulligan scream. Mrs. Beam goes running over to see what's wrong, and pretty soon there's a big crowd of kids standing around Ravi's desk. This is one of those times when being taller than everybody seems to come in handy, because I can see right over their heads. Ravi has finally finished unwrapping his package, and sitting on his desk in a glass jar filled with cruddy looking water, and swimming around in that cruddy looking water, are three long, slimy, black. And that's where we're going to end. So that is the end of chapter 36, which means that's the end of our read aloud for today. So stay tuned for the next two chapters of Save Me a Seat.